Yellowstone is an engrossing show with a definite theme to it based on history. It is said that the story is based on the same story of Sitting Bull and the Lakota tribe in the Old West. John Dutton and his family seem to represent the Lakota tribe in industrial progress being the encroachment of the white man into Native American land. We wanted to know if there are any other shows similar or better than Yellowstone. We went searching and came up with the following list. We hope you enjoy the video. But before we get into the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on so you don't miss any of the new videos we post. The Sun, Philip Meyer's novel of the same name, is the inspiration behind this series. The leading character of the series, Eli McCullough, is played by Pierce Brosnan. The story begins in 1849 when Eli is just 13 years old. The Native American Comanches attack his family, rape and kill his mother and sister, and kidnap Eli along with his brother Martin. While Martin gets killed in captivity, Eli becomes close to the Comanches and is also adopted by one of the Comanche families. It so happens that an epidemic spreads among the tribe and kills off most of the tribesmen. In order for them to get some money, Eli insists that the Comanches sell him back to the white people. Though he has trouble readjusting himself into the white Americans' society, Eli manages to do so. He later comes across some gold and becomes a successful businessman. However, Eli always finds it difficult to establish a fruitful relationship with his own children. The Sun was generally received positively by the critics. Big Sky. Big Sky is a crime thriller murder mystery that takes place in Big Sky, Montana. The series, based on the book By the Highway by C.J. Box, follows Cassie Dewell, Kylie Bunbury, and Jenny Hoyt, Catherine Winnick, who reluctantly paired up to solve the disappearance of girls in the small town. As the current murder mystery wraps up, look for them to solve more mysteries. Wynonna Earp. Wynonna Earp is a supernatural horror western filmed in Alberta, Canada, that airs on Sci-Fi in the US. It's based on a comic book series of the same name created by Bo Smith. Emily Andras developed the series for television and serves as showrunner and executive producer. The series follows the great-granddaughter of legendary lawman Wyatt Earp. In the paranormal drama, Wynonna is charged with taking down revenants, outlaws killed by Wyatt Earp that have been resurrected in the small town of Purgatory because of the Earp curse. Westworld. The Emmy-winning HBO series is based on a 1973 film of the same name about a technologically advanced Wild West-themed amusement park written by Michael Crichton. Jurassic Park, The Andromeda Strain. The 2016-era series Westworld, created by husband and wife duo Jonathan Nolan and Lisa Joy, takes place in a fictional, technologically advanced amusement park where wealthy human guests can live out their Wild West fantasies without repercussions. Things get interesting when the android hosts that populate the park malfunction and begin killing visitors. 3 seasons of the series have aired on HBO, and it was picked up for a 4th season in April 2020. No premiere date has been released. Better Call Saul. Better Call Saul is a spin-off of the highly acclaimed show Breaking Bad. The character Saul Goodman, who contributed immensely to the growth and prosperity of Walter and Jesse's crystal meth business, is the leading character of this series. It is here that we first come to know that this character's name is not originally Saul Goodman, but is actually Jimmy McGill. He starts off as a con man and then becomes a lawyer. However, what he does best is getting criminals out of complicated situations. His unique ability makes Saul dear to criminals, and he quickly becomes an influential figure for the international drug dealer Gus Fring, a character whom we first meet in Breaking Bad. Better Call Saul is set around 6 years before the events of Breaking Bad and thus serves as a setup as to how Goodman manages to become such an expert in aiding criminals. Like its predecessor, Better Call Saul met with critical acclaim as well and was even nominated for 23 Primetime Emmy Awards in total. The reason this series is included in this list is that just like Yellowstone, Better Call Saul is set in a world where the gun has a louder voice than the law. The only way to survive in this world is to resort to criminal means. Damnation. The story of Damnation is set during the Great Depression of the 1930s. Many poor Americans had to suffer a lot during this period because of the lack of job opportunities. The leading character of the series is a man called Seth Davenport. He appears in a small town as a preacher where nobody is aware of his bloody and violent history. Seth tries to make the townspeople aware of the fact that they are being exploited by the industrialists, bank, and the sheriff. The townspeople gather around him and call a strike against this injustice. Seth faces opposition from Creeley Turner, who has been paid by an industrialist put an end to the strike. Surprisingly, Turner and Davenport turn out to be brothers meeting after a long time. The series was positively received by critics during its run. Hatfield and McCoys. Pre-Yellowstone, Kevin Costner starred in the Western drama Hatfields and McCoys as Devil Anse Hatfield. He plays opposite Bill Paxton, who stars as his rival Randall McCoy. The miniseries, which originally aired on the History Channel, is based on the legendary Hatfield-McCoy feud. After the Civil War, these two patriarchs began fighting due to increased tensions and misunderstandings. Eventually, the U.S. Supreme Court had to intervene in the war between the two families. The show won a Golden Globe as well as a handful of Primetime Emmy Awards and is available to stream on Starz. Waco. This 6-episode miniseries is based on a real-life incident that happened in 1993 in Waco, Texas. The Federal Bureau of Investigation and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives were involved in a standoff with the religious sect called the Branch Davidians. The standoff went on for 51 days and led to the death of 76 people in total. The Branch Davidians were believed to have been stocking weapons illegally and building an army of their own. The ATF had gone to their retreat to inspect the area and arrest some of their leaders. It was then that the religious sect retaliated and decided to hold off the lawmen from entering their premises. In the series Waco, we see the standoff from various perspectives to get an all-encompassing view of the event. The series did portray the events based on hard facts, but did not gain much positive acclaim from critics. Hell on Wheels. Hell on Wheels is another Western that ran on AMC for 5 seasons. It followed former Confederate soldier Cullen Bohannon, Anson Mount, who was unable to put the horrors of war behind him, especially after his wife was brutally killed by enemy soldiers, which set Cullen on a path for vengeance. The name of the show stems from a town that carries that moniker, as it's known for following along with the construction of the first transcontinental railroad. Hell on Wheels received numerous accolades over the years and won many of them. It's a lesser-known show, but a riveting one nonetheless. Godless. In this short-lived Netflix original series, notorious criminal Frank Griffin, Jeff Daniels, and his gang of outlaws are on a mission of revenge against Roy Good, Jack O'Connell, a son-like protege who betrayed the Brotherhood. While on the run, Roy seeks refuge with hardened widower Alice Fletcher, Michelle Dockery, an outcast herself, in the worn-down, isolated mining town of La Belle, New Mexico, a town governed mainly by women after a tragic mining accident. When word reaches La Belle that Griffin is headed their way, the women band together to defend what's theirs from the murderous gang in a lawless western frontier. Deadwood. Deadwood is an HBO original series set in the eponymous town of Dakota. The series focuses on the rise of Deadwood from being a small camp to a major town in the state of Dakota. The story centers around a dispute between Deadwood's sheriff, Seth Bullock, played by Timothy Oliphant, and the owner of the Gem Saloon, Al Swearingen, played by Ian McShane. It is based on real events, with most characters using the original names of the people they are based on. Deadwood received critical acclaim because of its fantastic storyline and vivid description of Dakota in the 1870s. The show managed to win 8 Emmy Awards and 1 Golden Globe Award during its run. Sons of Anarchy. Sons of Anarchy is a much grittier show than Yellowstone for a lot of reasons. While both series deal with tough subjects and tricky situations, from drug trouble to unsolved murders, Sons of Anarchy was about a biker group struggling with some serious inner turmoil. Created by Kurt Sutter, the show is focused on Charlie Hunnam's character Jax Teller and his involvement with the outlaw motorcycle group as he struggled to figure out his loyalty versus the increased lawlessness of the group. It also featured Gemma Teller, one of the best and most complicated female antagonists we've had on television in a long time. Fans of Beth Dutton will see some similarities with fellow master manipulator Gemma. Also, Yellowstone creator Taylor Sheridan starred on SOA for a few seasons as the squeaky clean cop David Hale. Longmire. This Wyoming-set series about dedicated and unflappable Sheriff Walt Longmire started out on A&E but was cancelled after 3 seasons. Fans, known as the Longmire Posse, were in an uproar and took to social media to let everyone know. Eventually, Netflix picked Longmire up for another 3 seasons. Based on a series of crime thriller novels by Craig Johnson, Longmire finds Sheriff Walt Longmire, Robert Taylor, trying to rebuild his life and career following the death of his wife. He hides his pain behind a brave face, unassuming grin, and dry wit. With his deputy Victoria Vic Moretti, Katie Sackhoff, and his best friend Henry Standing Bear, Lou Diamond Phillips, the sheriff solves crimes in the fictional Absaroka County, Wyoming. That concludes our list. What do you think? Leave a comment below if you have a series you would like to add or remove from the list. We hope to see you back again. Until then, take care.